I'm sticking closer to home today. I'm going to take you on a tour of the Armatage neighborhood in Southwest Minneapolis. I'm Mary Schumann. I'm a realtor here in the Twin Cities. And if you're thinking about making a move to the Twin Cities area, I have a free downloadable relocation guide for you in the description box down below this video. If you're on a mobile device, tap the title of the video and that will open right up for you. If you just have a question, please feel free to reach out or you can leave a comment. Homes in the Armatage neighborhood began to be built in the 1940s, and by 1960, most of the neighborhood had been established. Homes in the area do reflect the style of homes in that time period, so you see a lot of 1940s, 1950s bungalows, as well as quite a few what we call ramblers, or what the rest of the country calls ranch homes. I did a comparison of median home prices for Armatage and the surrounding areas, including Edina, which is the suburb that borders the neighborhood directly to the west. And then I also took the Kenny neighborhood, which is bordering the neighborhood to the east, and then looked at the city of Minneapolis overall. And this gives you a really good idea of where Armatage stacks up and how it compares to other areas nearby. The highest price home on the market in Armatage today is a house that was built in 1948, but it resembles nothing of the home that was built in 1948. It's had a complete renovation and a second floor added. This home was priced at nearly $800,000. It has 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and a 4-car garage, and nearly 3,000 square feet. This is not a typical home for the area, but we have seen a lot of homes like this, pop upward as people try to stay in the neighborhood but need more living space than they had in those 1940s or 1950s bungalows. A more typical house for sale right now would be a bungalow priced close to the median price in the mid 400s, built in the early 50s, and still reflecting some of the character from that day. They typically have about 2,000 square feet, usually 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and a 2-car garage. The 2-car garages are not attached. They're on the alley typically, and people in the neighborhood usually have finished basements. They don't have to be deluxe, but any usable square footage is really desirable in this area. The least expensive home that I saw listed, it was at $285,000. It was a 3-bed, 1-bath. It had been used as a rental and needed quite a bit of TLC. Armatage has a very active neighborhood association, and they do events throughout the year. And I do want to distinguish between a neighborhood association and an HOA. This is not an HOA like you would see in the suburbs that you must belong to, have to pay into, etc. This is just neighbors. So the neighborhood association puts on several events throughout the year, including a chili cook-off, a Christmas light display, competition, and free movies in the park in summer. In the winter, they hold their Fire on Ice celebration, which has bonfires, ice skating at the park rink, typically s'mores, stuff like that. It's held at night. It's really fun. Food truck nights, and a summer festival. If you have children, the Park District has after-school programs through the Community Education Program, and they hold those at the Armatage Park Community Center. And they also have all-day programming there throughout the summer. In addition to the focus on the kids, the community center also hosts events like tech help for senior citizens, and they have a community garden tool swap in the spring. So if you need a shovel, you don't have one, maybe you can swap your clippers. Children in the neighborhood are currently zoned for Armatage Elementary, which was formerly a Montessori magnet school, but is now back to being a community school. Those kids will then move on to Susan B. Anthony Middle School, which is an international baccalaureate school. And then their pathway goes to Southwest High School in Southwest Minneapolis. Armatage has a close community feel, and it also has the benefit of easily accessible local favorites for things like restaurants including Pizzeria Lola, Red Wagon Pizza, Book Club Restaurant, Colita, and Cafe Series. It's also a quick ride to shopping in Edina for Southdale Mall or any of the surrounding shops and restaurants nearby there, including the Galleria for more upscale shopping. There's also a Target and a lot of other big box stores down there. You'll have an easy time getting your groceries because there is a nearby Lunds and Byerly's. There's also a Kowalski's in the Kenny neighborhood, or if you're down the street in Edina, you can hit their Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. If you're interested in Costco, you're probably going to find St. Louis Park to be the closest location, but in my opinion, it's also the craziest one. It's always mobbed, and to me, it's worth it to drive a little bit further and go to Egan or Eden Prairie instead. In addition to the large community park, Armatage is well located to reach the paths around Lake Harriet or Minnehaha Creek. As with all areas of Minneapolis, there is a large focus on bicycling, and public streets have bike lanes, which are heavily used. The city of Minneapolis also has sidewalks on both sides of the street, so if you wanted to walk up to the lake or walk down to the creek, you can do so safely. If you're curious about other areas of the city or suburbs, check out my playlist. I've got a bunch of them in there, and I'm always adding more. And if there is an area that you're interested in and you don't see a video, let me know. I can at least answer questions and will likely add a video for you. Thanks so much for watching.